Starting things off with Bloons TD6. This tower defense game brings colorful chaos to your screen with layers of strategic depth that keep you coming back for more. The premise is simple yet endlessly engaging, where you place monkey towers along winding paths to pop waves of bloons before they reach the end. What makes this game special is its massive variety of upgrade paths, with each tower having 3 distinct specialization trees that dramatically change how they function. You can experiment with different monkey types, from dart monkeys to ninja monkeys and even super monkeys, each bringing unique abilities to the battlefield. The game features dozens of maps with varying difficulty levels and multiple game modes, including cooperative multiplayer and challenging boss events. Hero units add another strategic layer, as they level up automatically during matches and provide powerful abilities that can turn the tide of battle. The progression system keeps you invested, with countless upgrades to unlock and knowledge points to spend on permanent bonuses. Visual effects are vibrant and satisfying, especially when you unleash devastating abilities that clear entire screens of bloons in spectacular fashion. Moving to the second spot, we have Kingdom Rush Vengeance, which flips the script by letting you command the dark forces instead of defending against them. This entry in the beloved Kingdom Rush series maintains the polished tower defense gameplay the franchise is known for, while adding fresh mechanics and a villain protagonist perspective. You build towers strategically across fantasy-themed maps, while managing hero units that can be deployed anywhere on the battlefield to handle emergencies. The tower variety is excellent, with each type offering 2 upgrade paths that significantly alter their functionality and visual appearance. What stands out is the active gameplay style, where you constantly make decisions about where to deploy reinforcements and when to use special abilities, rather than just placing towers and watching. The campaign takes you through diverse environments, from scorched wastelands to frozen tundras, each with unique enemy types that require different tactical approaches. Boss battles punctuate the campaign with challenging encounters that test your mastery of all game systems. The art style is charming, with detailed animations and humorous death effects that add personality to every match, making it accessible yet strategically demanding for tower defense enthusiasts. Third on the list is Orcs Must Die 3, bringing chaotic action to the tower defense genre by combining trap placement with third-person combat. Unlike traditional tower defense games, you actively participate in battles, running around the battlefield while enemies pour through your defenses. The trap system is incredibly creative, offering dozens of different contraptions, from ceiling-mounted spike crushers to floor-based spring traps that launch orcs into deadly hazards. You place these traps during a preparation phase, then the action begins, and you must adapt on the fly, using weapons and abilities to cover weak points in your defense. The game introduces war scenarios, featuring absolutely massive orc armies, with hundreds of enemies on screen simultaneously, creating spectacular, chaotic battles. You can play solo or cooperatively with a friend, which adds tactical depth as you coordinate trap placements and divide battlefield responsibilities. Character progression unlocks new traps, weapons, and upgrades that expand your tactical options significantly over the course of the campaign. Maps are designed with multiple pathways and vertical elements that reward creative trap combinations and environmental awareness, making each level a puzzle to solve through both preparation and execution. Fourth up is They Are Billions, a brutally challenging strategy game that merges tower defense with real-time strategy and survival elements in a steampunk zombie apocalypse. You establish a colony in a procedurally generated wasteland and must expand your settlement while defending against increasingly massive waves of infected creatures. The core tension comes from balancing economic growth with military preparation, as you need resources to build defenses, but also need those defenses to survive long enough to gather resources. Every building placement matters, since infected can break through weak points in your walls, and a single zombie reaching your colony core can trigger a devastating chain reaction. The game features a campaign mode with narrative missions and a survival mode where you customize difficulty parameters and try to last a specific number of days against the zombie hordes. Technology research unlocks advanced units and structures that provide new strategic options, from sniper towers to powerful Thanatos mechs. Audio design deserves special mention, as you hear the distant moans of zombie hordes building in intensity before waves arrive, creating genuine tension. The difficulty is unforgiving, with no pause function during missions, demanding constant attention and quick decision-making that makes victory feel truly earned. Fifth on the lineup comes Defense Grid 2, which refines the classic tower defense formula with excellent level design and strategic depth. This game focuses purely on tower placement and upgrade decisions without hero units or active abilities, keeping the experience streamlined and tactical. You defend power cores from alien invaders across maps with multiple pathways, requiring you to think carefully about tower positioning and upgrade priorities. The tower variety offers distinct tactical roles, from basic gun towers to powerful meteor towers, and each can be upgraded multiple times to increase effectiveness. What makes Defense Grid 2 engaging is how enemy paths change dynamically when they steal cores, forcing you to adapt your strategy mid-mission as they take different routes back to their portals. The game includes an extensive campaign with varied mission objectives, plus challenge modes that modify rules and test your mastery of core mechanics. Presentation is polished with clear visual feedback and a helpful AI companion that provides mission context through voice acting. Progression feels rewarding as you unlock new tower types and tackle increasingly complex maps that introduce environmental hazards and tighter resource management, requiring optimal tower placement and timing to achieve perfect scores.
Taking the 6th position is Infinitode 2, an endless tower defense game that strips away campaign progression to focus on pure strategic gameplay and leaderboard competition. The game features a minimalist visual style, with clean geometric shapes representing towers and enemies, making everything easy to read during intense late-game scenarios. You place towers on grid-based maps to stop endless waves of enemies, with difficulty scaling infinitely upward as you survive longer. What sets this apart is the research system, where you permanently unlock upgrades and new tower types using resources earned from runs, creating meaningful long-term progression. Maps offer different layouts and modifiers that dramatically change optimal strategies, from maze-building opportunities to straight-line gauntlets. The tower upgrade system is deep, with multiple paths for each tower type, allowing specialization based on enemy compositions and map characteristics. Daily quests and seasonal events provide structured goals beyond simply pushing for higher wave counts on leaderboards. The game respects your time with fast-forward options and the ability to save mid-run, which is essential given that successful runs can last several hours as you optimize tower placement and upgrades to handle increasingly overwhelming enemy counts.
Seventh in the sequence, we find Element TD2, which builds on the Warcraft 3 mod legacy with a unique element-based tower system. Instead of traditional tower types, you combine elemental essences to create towers, with each combination producing different defensive structures with unique abilities and attack patterns. This creates a complex web of possibilities where dual-element towers differ from single-element towers, and discovering optimal combinations becomes part of the strategic puzzle. The game features competitive multiplayer modes where you face off against other players, with leaked enemies from your side becoming stronger attackers on theirs, creating a risk-reward dynamic. You can also play cooperatively or solo through increasingly difficult waves that test your understanding of element synergies and tower positioning. Visual effects showcase each element distinctly, with fire towers producing flame effects and lightning towers creating electric arcs, making battles visually spectacular. The progression system rewards experimentation as you unlock new element combinations and learn which towers counter specific enemy types effectively. Maps provide varied terrain with choke points and open areas, requiring different approaches to maze building and tower placement, ensuring that the optimal strategy varies both on map layout and chosen element focus throughout each match. In 8th place stands Rogue Tower, offering a unique twist by combining tower defense with roguelike deck-building mechanics. Each run starts with a basic deck of cards, representing different tower types, abilities, and upgrades, which you play using energy that regenerates each round. The tower you defend is your central structure, and you build additional floors upward using resources earned from defeating enemies, creating a literal tower that grows taller as you progress. Card management becomes crucial as you carefully construct your deck throughout a run, choosing which cards to add from random offerings after each wave. Permanent upgrades unlock between runs, providing meta progression that makes subsequent attempts more manageable without removing the challenge. The prestige system adds long-term goals beyond individual runs, giving you reasons to experiment with different strategies and card combinations. Enemy variety keeps you adapting, with flying units, ground forces, and boss encounters that require specific counter strategies built into your deck. The minimalist art style keeps focus on strategic decisions, while still providing satisfying visual feedback when towers eliminate threats, making this a compelling option for players who enjoy both tower defense and deck-building genres. Ninth on our list is Dungeon Defenders Awakened, which reimagines the original Dungeon Defenders with updated graphics and refined gameplay systems. This game blends tower defense with action RPG elements, where you control hero characters that both place defensive structures and fight enemies directly during waves. You can switch between heroes mid-match, allowing strategic flexibility as you leverage different tower types and abilities based on evolving battlefield conditions. Character progression includes leveling, equipment drops, and skill point allocation, giving meaningful RPG depth alongside the tower defense mechanics. Maps feature multiple crystal cores to defend, forcing you to spread defenses across larger areas and prioritize which positions need the most protection. The loot system keeps you hunting for better gear, with randomized stats and special effects that enhance both your combat effectiveness and the strength of towers you place. Cooperative multiplayer supports up to 4 players, combining forces to defend against overwhelming enemy numbers, with each player contributing their unique hero abilities and tower types. Boss encounters provide climactic challenges that require coordination and strong defenses, while offering substantial rewards upon completion, making progression feel consistently rewarding throughout the campaign.
Rounding out the 10th spot is Sanctum 2, which innovatively merges first-person shooter action with tower defense strategy in a hybrid experience. You alternate between building phases, where you place towers and walls on a grid to create defensive mazes, and combat phases, where you grab weapons and fight alongside your towers. This dual approach creates unique strategic depth, as tower placement determines enemy pathing, while your personal combat skills handle threats that break through. The game features character classes with different abilities and weapon loadouts, encouraging varied playstyles, from long-range snipers to close-range damage dealers. Tower types offer diverse tactical options, from standard damage dealers to utility towers that slow or weaken enemies, making combination strategies effective. Maps are beautifully rendered science fiction environments, with varied layouts that change how you approach defensive construction and combat positioning. Cooperative multiplayer expands strategic possibilities, as teams coordinate tower placement and divide combat responsibilities across the battlefield. Enemy variety forces adaptation, with flying units, heavily armored bosses, and swarm-type creatures that each require different tactical responses, keeping gameplay dynamic throughout the campaign, and ensuring that both shooting skills and strategic planning remain equally important to success.